Hello, how is everyone today? Haven't done a Facebook Live in a little bit, so I thought I would come on here and do one. Um, so I hope everyone is doing amazing today. I am feeling on cloud nine because last night I went to a concert and I saw Snow Patrol, if any of you are familiar with them. And my friend got us, oh my God, like this. Okay, we didn't even have seats. It was like in the pit. So it was like right by the stage. So like I couldn't have gotten any closer to the stage. And it was amazing. And I just like had so much fun and enjoyed every second of it. And it kind of brings me into the topic that I want to talk about today, which is, talking about comfort zones and why your daughter stays in her comfort zone and what she can do to get out of it. And this is something I know so well because I used to only stay in my comfort zone all of the time. And like even going to concerts, like this is kind of something that's a little bit newer for me. Like I haven't been going to concerts for like years and years on end. This is more like recent that I've started going to concerts, and it's been really exciting. And it's really interesting because when we start doing new things that we didn't used to do in the past, it's like we're getting out of our comfort zones, right? It feels good. It feels different. It might be unfamiliar, but it's like we realize all of the ways that we have been holding ourselves back in the past because for whatever reason, right? And so when we experience life in this different way, like going and doing new things, like going to the class or going to the concert or going wherever, like traveling, whatever it is, it like really opens up our world to so much. And this can happen for your daughter as well. And so, I mean, back in the day when I was in high school, like I was never getting out of my comfort zone. I didn't join any clubs, or not really. I mean, I wasn't really involved in sports. I joined, I was like on the tennis team my senior year. But before that, I wasn't on any sports. I just stayed very safe, right? And even like, when I went away to college, like the same thing. I didn't explore as much as I could have. And my freshman year of college was horrible. It was horrible. Part of the reason was I wasn't like putting myself out there. I wasn't experiencing, like I didn't join anything. I wasn't really making all that many new friends. It wasn't a great time in my life, that freshman year of college. And then I was so miserable the freshman year. I didn't like the college that I had chosen, so I ended up transferring. And then I went to another school. I went to UC Santa Cruz after that, and I actually loved it and fell in love with the school. But I will say this, I still played it safe and I still stayed very much in my comfort zone. Me getting out of my comfort zone has been more in like my 30s, right? But I didn't do it before. And so why do we stay in our comfort zones? And, if you're watching this, whether it's live or on the replay, and you're watching this and you're like, yes, my daughter is staying safe. She's always in her comfort zone. Or maybe you moms too. This is not just for your daughters. Maybe you as well. You're like, yeah, I kind of stay in my comfort zone a little too much. Well, let's talk about that because it's important. So why do we stay in our comfort zones? We stay in it because that's where everything is safe. That's where everything is really familiar. We know what to expect in our comfort zones, right? Nothing's gonna catch us off guard. Like it's that safety that we get, right? And so a lot of your daughters are not stepping outside of what is safe and familiar because when they step outside of it all, this is unknown territory. And for a lot of people, a lot of your daughters, and maybe even a lot of you moms, that can be scary as hell, okay? So scary to step out of your comfort zone, right? To go try new things, go explore, go put yourself out there. it can be really terrifying for some people. This can bring up some major anxiety for some of you, for some of your daughters. It can bring up a lot of fear for your daughters. And so what often happens when this happens? Well, what happens when your daughter, she's trying really hard to get out of her comfort zone. It's not working. And so she pulls back. She retreats, right? So what happened? What was showing up for her? She was scared, maybe. She was afraid. The fear was creeping in. And then she was like, nope, I don't want to do this. I give up. This is how so many girls will just give up on things, right? Because the fear of the unknown is too scary. So if they step back and they stay where they are, even if it sucks where they are, at least they know what to expect, right? This is why a lot of girls that are struggling in their lives with many different things. And you, mom, you might say, honey, why don't you go try this? I think it will be really good for you. And your daughter says, no, I don't want anything to, no, not going to try that. No, no way, mom. Why would you even bring that up to me? And you're like thinking to yourself, why the hell would my daughter not say yes to this? This is totally going to help her. It's the fear of the unknown. Your daughter doesn't know what to expect when she tries this thing that you're recommending, right? And so she's scared, she's fearful, but also this goes back, and this is so tied into your daughter's identity of who she thinks she is. And let me explain this. I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. Like, every one of us has an identity of who we think we are, okay? Your daughter has this too. If your daughter is suffering from anxiety or depression or something else, then this becomes her identity. When she looks at herself in the mirror, she sees herself as someone who is sad all the time, or she sees herself as someone who is very anxious and stressed out all of the time. The problem with that is when we see ourselves in that way, that becomes like not only our present, that becomes our future. Because however we see ourselves, whatever we believe about ourselves becomes not only what we're dealing with right now in the present moment, but it continues on into the future until we shake that up. We shift the identity of how we see ourselves. And so going back to the whole comfort zone, right? If your daughter is always playing it safe, then she's got to shake that up and really step outside of that, because that's where her life is, like experience, growth, transformation, right? It's not going to happen here. It won't happen here. If she stays here, if your daughter's suffering with some major anxiety or depression or self-harm or suicidal thoughts or whatever, eating disorder, cutting, whatever it is, if she is not willing to go try different things to help herself, the reason she's not willing to do that is because she's so stuck in her identity of who she thinks she is. And who would she be if she completely changes herself? Who would she be if she completely transforms her life, right? If your daughter's depressed, it's going to be, if she's doing this on her own, it's going to be hard for her to see herself as someone happy, right? If your daughter is suffering from anxiety, panic attacks, it's going to be hard for your daughter to see herself as someone who is relaxed, cool, calm, and collected, right? Because she's, well, but I'm anxious all the time. So this is the work that I do with teen girls and young women. It's getting them to shift like how they see themselves, what they believe about themselves, because whatever they believe about themselves is creating, it's like a mirror, right? If you feel a certain way, you're creating that. If your daughter is depressed, her outside reality is going to be a mirror of her depression. if her, if inside she's really struggling with anxiety and overwhelm and stress and panic attacks, then guess what? It's going to be a mirror, and everything around her is going to be stressful, overwhelming, really hard. But it starts from inside. She's creating that. Can you imagine if your daughter is like showing up, loving herself and happy and feeling like so excited about her life? If everything is a mirror, then what is it going to look on? What is her life going to look like on the outside? Things can change for her, and they will change for her. But it starts with, who is your daughter being? How is she showing up in the world? What are her beliefs, her thoughts, her feelings? Because all of that is creating her reality. So going back to this whole thing about comfort zones, right? And if your daughter is scared to get out of her comfort zone, it's going to take more than, you kind of trying to push her. And yes, I believe you should try to kind of help her get out of her comfort zone. But like, also, that's why programs like Girl Tribe, which is my membership community for girls 13 and up, that's why programs like that are life-changing for girls, because it gets them out of their comfort zone and it gets them to try something new that's going to shift so much for themselves. It's going to shift how they think about themselves. It's going to shift how they see the world, how they see their lives. It's going to shift how they interact with you and other people, friends, relationships. It's going to shift so much and transform so much on a deep level. And that stuff is not really taught in the schools. It's not taught out there. That's why programs like Girl Tribe, like I see this is going to be really, really big. Like this is going to get big. And so I want to remind all of you that I don't know how many days are left before pricing jumps. It's like 10 days or 9 days, something like that. But June 1st, pricing almost doubles to $97. If you sign up for the next 9 or 10 days that we have in May, you will be locked in at the pricing of $57. It's a 3-month commitment if you sign up in May. And then after that, there's no obligation because it's a membership community, a monthly membership community. So after that, there's no obligation. You can, leave, or your daughter can leave after it if she doesn't like it. But what I know to be true is that this work, what I'm putting into Girl Tribe, this stuff works, okay? I've seen it with every single girl and young woman that I've worked with, either privately or in Unstoppable You. This work is powerful and it transforms so much. And I'm so excited. Like I woke up this morning and I had like a couple new girls that just joined Girl Tribe, and I was like, yay, I'm so excited. And then yesterday another girl joined, and it's really cool. Like there's one girl that joined and she's like from Australia. So here's the cool thing. I am offering 2 live group coaching calls because I want to be able to not only speak with the girls who are in the States, but also there's a bunch of girls that are not in the United States. And so I had to come up with a different call time. So whether you live in, the United States, or if you live abroad in Europe or Australia or somewhere else, like I'm having 2 different calls so I can really connect and with everyone. It doesn't matter where you live. But here's the cool thing. Every girl is in the group chat. So there can be girls from London in there. There could be girls from Australia in there. There can be girls from like Michigan and like Florida. Actually, one girl is, I think, from Michigan and another girl is from Florida. But it's like these girls are all coming together. And this is what I love about it. Was like Unstoppable You and now Girl Tribe. Like all of these girls from like all these different parts of the world are coming together that your daughter would never have met before. You have no idea the kinds of friendships and relationships that can form from your daughter being a part of Girl Tribe. Like it's crazy how the connection piece is so huge and it's so missing. It's so missing out there. And so even if your daughter does have friends, it doesn't mean that she's being vulnerable with them and opening up and sharing all of, you know, the stuff that she's dealing with. And what I have seen in Unstoppable You, and I know it's going to happen here in Girl Tribe, is girls are really opening up and becoming vulnerable, really going to, you know, what's going on for them? What are some of the issues that they're dealing with? And if your daughter is suffering from, you know, with anxiety or depression, I'm here to tell you that Girl Tribe is a place where she's not going to feel alone, because there's going to be other girls that are dealing with the exact same thing that your daughter is dealing with. And so I think that that feeling alone piece can be really, really hard for especially teen girls. I mean, super hard. That isolation piece, right, is very difficult. We as human beings want to feel connected. We want to feel like we're part of something. And the connection piece it's not always found at schools, right? So this is huge. Like Girl Tribe, I can't even tell you like how excited I am for all of this. But even Girl Tribe is if your daughter is a part of Girl Tribe, this is getting her out of her comfort zone, right? She doesn't know exactly what she's getting into. Maybe you've shared the information with her and, you know, and she doesn't know exactly what it's all about. You know, she can read everything about it and then make her own decision. But like, this is her stepping into a little bit into the unknown, right? But the girls who have already signed up and who are already in Girl Tribe, like, I give them so much credit, and their moms as well, right? But I give them so much credit because they are saying yes to themselves. They're saying yes to something more. They're saying, you know what, where I'm at right now, I know that this can get better, and I'm willing to try. I'm really willing to try something new. And that's what it takes, you know, like my journey, my spiritual and personal development journey, like it took a lot of me getting out of my comfort zone and trying new things. And like some things I tried worked, some things I tried didn't work. So it's like, but you have to try these things, right? Because the conventional way with therapy and medication doesn't work for a lot of girls. You know, it may work for some, but there are a lot of girls and young women it just doesn't work for. And so this is something like, I'm just like super pumped and super excited about it. The first group coaching call, the live call, is happening next week. So I want your daughter to be a part of it. I mean, it's Girl Tribe is already happening. It's now. But the first live group coaching call is next week. So definitely take advantage of this. Take advantage of this amazing pricing that I'm only offering until the end of May, and the pricing almost doubles in June. So I don't know why you would want to pay double for this. So even if you're like, well, I think this kind of sounds cool, but maybe I'll wait a couple months. Don't wait a couple months. You'll pay double, almost double. Why? Don't do that. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Leave a comment below. You can private message me, do whatever you want. I'm just super excited. I really see this as being like something really big, and it's really needed. And I'm going to London next month, so I'll do a lot of, I can do some Facebook lives maybe while I'm walking the streets of London. But I'm excited to see, you know, connect. To connect with teen girls and young women while I'm out in London. And who knows, you know, maybe I can meet some girls out there that will be a part of Girl Tribe. And yeah, I mean, the whole thing is like fascinating with Girl Tribe, that we can take girls from Australia, girls from London, girls from, you know, wherever in the States, and we can like come together in this amazing community. Like, how cool is that? It's like so unreal. I'm just so excited. Yeah, I just love it. I love life right now. So going back to the topic, like, you know, helping your daughter get out of her comfort zone. It's also moms, you getting out of your comfort zone. That's really what it's about. You know, signing your daughter up for Girl Tribe might not be comfortable for you, because there might be some fear that comes up for you. Like, I don't know, what if this doesn't work? Well, what if you keep doing what you've been doing and that doesn't work? Then where's your daughter, right? So, I mean, this Girl Tribe is incredible, and it's going to be magical, and I want your daughter to be a part of it. So get out of your comfort zone, check it out, share the information with your daughter. If it brings up some fear in you or some uncertainty, because you're like, oh, I don't know, I've never done something like this before, trust yourself, like trust your gut. If something feels good, go with it. That's what I always do. When I was younger, I never used to try. I didn't trust myself. I asked everyone else around me to help me make decisions, because I never listened to like my own intuition, my own gut. And we all have, our own, we all have this intuition inside of us. And this is something that I teach the girls that I work with, like, follow your intuition. It's like, it will always lead us in the right direction. And now I do that. And that's why, that's how I'm able to create these kind of programs, because sorry, that's Annabelle barking. They come to me. I'll sit down in a meditation, and then I'll get an idea or a download or something will come to me, and I'm like, oh, this is what I have to do, right? When we get centered and clear and grounded, we have all of the information that we need. It just comes to us. It's really incredible. And that's what's been the case for the work that I do, with girls and young women, and also what we do in these groups. Sometimes things just come to me and I'm like, oh, okay, we got to do this, or, oh, okay, I want to do this, and it's really incredible. So I'm sending you so much love, and get out of your comfort zone, moms, and for your daughters as well. I hope they can get out of their comfort zones as well, because if your daughter stays in her comfort zone, she's really missing out on so much in life. And I say this from personal experience. I mean, even the concert that I just went to, right, last night, I mean, that was something I never used to do. I never went to concerts. And now I'm like, oh my God, I want to go to another concert. It was so much fun. But obviously it has to be the right concert, because Snow Patrol, I mean, that's incredible. And as close as I was to the stage, it really doesn't get any better than that. So I'm sending you so much love. I hope to see so many of your daughters in Girl Tribe. And again, if you have any questions, anything really, just leave a comment below and I'll make sure to respond. Okay. Have a wonderful day. Mwah. Bye for now.